Did you know? According to the United Nations, 160 million children were laboring worldwide in 2020, accounting for 1 out of every 10 children in the world. And nearly half of them were in hazardous working conditions that jeopardized their development and safety. For a global perspective, we conducted research to see which countries this issue was most prevalent in.
Yeah, I believe that there has been increasing cases of child labor and exploitation post-pandemic.
Because of poverty, the basic amenities of life, having house, having proper meals.
So the government has been very proactive in stopping cases of child labor. But my suggestion would be that government can actually spread awareness. See, community involvement is very important when we have to stop instances of child labor. For example, say if a child is working as a domestic help, then the people in that community should take up that issue with the community head and should report such instances, which sadly in India it doesn't get reported. They come from lower economic background households, right? And automatically there are instances of stunted growth. You will find that many of the children are malnourished, there is vitamin deficiency, that is there.
Not aware, if you are not seeing the world through different lenses, through different perspectives, you are basically ignorant and you end up indulging in activities, in abuses to earn money through the wrong means.
Active campaigning through various social media platforms, and we also should encourage, Virat Kohli has 286 million followers on Instagram. One post by him can be seen as a message from Virat Kohli to every person. So we should discuss more about it. Discussion will lead to awareness. Educate the domestic help working in their household.
I think the basic values that we have grown up with, one, to not sympathize with them but empathize them.
There is a large gender gap between girls and boys regarding child labor. 88 million boys are affected by child labor worldwide, but about 20 million fewer girls are affected by child labor. There is an expectation for boys that they should work to provide for their family. In countries like India and Bangladesh, girls often receive a tuition or uniform stipend so that they continue school. However, this makes parents less likely to send their sons to school.
So one, of course, is the tardy legal processes. Two is the corruption in the labor enforcement system. And three, and this is most important, and I love the question that you made, and that is the most important thing, lack of awareness. Thing which is universal in child labor is economic deprivation. So you won't have a rich man's child, whether it's a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, coming into child labor. So what is universal is that wherever there is economic deprivation coupled with lack of knowledge, both. So for example, you might have an educated unemployed sitting in the city. He may not send his child or sell his child into child labor. But from backward areas where there is backwardness in terms of social backwardness and economic backwardness both, the likelihood is there that there will be child labor. But a lot of awareness that has been created, and it's increasingly being created, is making it, as you would say, uncool to patronize child labor, to have products which have come through child labor. So that is actually having an impact. Also, the midday meal scheme, which has been in place for a long time, has also greatly impacted upon this, because earlier the children, for the lack of any education, for the lack of money, because of poverty, would be forced into child labor.
Cultural beliefs have an important role in encouraging child labor. In developing countries, people believe that work has a constructive effect on character building and helps develop skills in children. This unfortunately makes them somewhat accept child labor. In Cameroon, parents view children supporting themselves and contributing to household expenses as important for preparing children for adulthood. Cultural beliefs may also dictate that the oldest child in the household should work and contribute along with parents to education and upkeep of younger children.
तो जो चाइल्ड लेबर होगा, जब वो पढ़ेगा ही नहीं तो वो आगे चल के बड़ा होगा तो उसके पास तो कोई स्किल होगा ही नहीं, वो काम ही नहीं कर सकता, कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता। फिर क्या होगा? तो उसके जो बच्चे आएंगे वो भी जो है वो चाइल्ड लेबर में जाके फंस जाएंगे। तो इस तरीके से ये एक वजह है जिसकी वजह से चाइल्ड लेबर जल्दी से ख़त्म नहीं होता, और लोगों को अवेयरनेस भी नहीं होती है, और कई लोग जानबूझ के भी अदरवाइज मोस्टली जो बच्चे होते हैं ना वो अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में मिलते हैं। जैसे घरों के अंदर छोटे छोटे कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज होती हैं, उनके अंदर मिलते हैं, या इल्लीगल कोई काम हो रहा हो। जैसे इल्लीगल काम का मतलब जैसे इल्लीगल कोई माइनिंग हो रही हो, इल्लीगल कोल माइनिंग हो रही हो, इल्लीगल माइका माइनिंग हो रही हो। हाँ, इसमें भी रहता है कि एक तो पर्टिकुलर रीजन से लोग होते हैं, जैसे उड़ीसा, बिहार, बंगाल, यूपी, मध्य प्रदेश, है ना, ऐसे स्टेट्स के होते हैं। ट्राइबल बच्चे भी होते हैं उसके अंदर मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के बहुत सारे बच्चे होते हैं, ठीक है। और जो कास्ट सिस्टम के अंदर जो लोअर कास्ट होती है उनके बच्चे बहुत होते हैं, हायर कास्ट के, अपर कास्ट के बहुत रेयरली। जेंडर में जो चाइल्ड लेबर में ना लड़के ज़्यादा होते हैं, लड़कियां भी होती हैं पर उनकी परसेंटेज कम। बच्चा एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम होता है, जैसे रेस्क्यू होता है बच्चा, उसके बाद 4 महीने के अंदर उसका रीइंटीग्रेशन हो जाना चाहिए फैमिली के साथ, और साथ में बहुत सारे लीगल प्रोसेसेस होते हैं, उसको पैसे भी मिलते हैं, और उसको स्कूल में प्रायोरिटी मिलती है, उसको लोन में प्रायोरिटी मिलती है, उसको बहुत सारी चीज़ों में प्रायोरिटी मिलती है, जिससे वो मेन स्ट्रीम हो सके। वो मेन सबसे पहले जहाँ देखें इन्फॉर्म करें एडमिनिस्ट्रेशंस को या हमारे जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, ठीक है।
In Ghana, it was found that Christian children were the least likely to work, while Muslim children with no religion, and children affiliated with the traditional African religion were more likely to work than Christians. Muslims don't have the access to education that Christians enjoy, keeping them in poverty and therefore turning to child labor. There's a 40% higher incidence of child labor among Indian Muslims compared with Indian Hindus. Ingrained discrimination towards Muslims in India limits their opportunities and keeps them in extreme poverty, making them turn to child labor. Majority of child laborers in India are lower caste. This is due to the discrimination and social stigma they face, which reduces their opportunities and keeps them in extreme poverty. This makes them turn to child labor.
11 साल का। 11 साल का था जब काम करता था। खेती का काम। मैं गलियों में आइसक्रीम भी बेचता था और दुकानों में तम्बाकू भी पन्नियों में सब वो करता था। 10 रुपये दिन का। हाँ, सुबह स्कूल जाता था, शाम को काम करता था। हाँ, स्कूल में जाता था मैं। स्कूल से 2-2:30 बजे छुट्टी होती थी। ठीक है, फिर मैं 2-3 घंटे आइसक्रीम बेचता था और तम्बाकू भरता। करता था, खाना बनाने का भी काम करना पड़ता था, झाड़ू पोछे का भी करना पड़ता था, पोछा मारते, बर्तन मांजते। ठीक है। ऐसा है कि सबसे बड़ा मैं ही था, तो घर की स्थिति ऐसी नहीं थी कि भाई खाली पढ़ाई से काम चले, तो वो जिम्मेदारी निभाने के लिए काम भी करना पड़ता था। फैमिली को लगता था बेटे मेरे को पीटते भी थे, पापा भी पीटता, मम्मी पीटती, पढ़ ले इनमें कुछ नहीं धरा, कुछ नहीं रखा काम। मेरा पढ़ाई में मन नहीं लगता था, बस मेरा पड़ोस के बच्चे ऐसे ही थे बस।
To achieve our aim of spreading awareness, we conducted a Global Perspective conclave with 200 members of the audience. We highlighted the grave issue of child labor through an informative and emotional skit, along with an enlightening photo wall representing our contribution to this issue, including people from all age groups.
To further maximize our contribution to eliminate child labor, we collected funds by spreading awareness on this topic and donated 100% of them to an NGO called Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Our goal was to donate 25,000 rupees. However, we surpassed our goal and successfully donated 50,000 rupees to the NGO.